Hello, world, and we're back. And so this is the Healing Chefs podcast. I am Ryan, aka Crownson's Corner. The Healing Chefs podcast, all about cannabis, psychedelics, mental health, and local stuff going on in Arizona. But also, mainly, it's about chefs. Chef coming from the word chief meaning leader. And today's chef or chefs is from the brand Life is Chill. Nailed that. And it representing Life is Chill is Francis. How we doing today, bud?
I'm doing excellent today. Thank you for having me.
Hell, thank you for
On this
coming.
cold, chilly day that we have outside.
I was like, man, I was just for a moment I was thinking it was just for a split second. Then I was like, oh, he's making it up.
116 when I got out of the truck.
Holy gee, there's a long drive for you. Appreciate it, but
no worries, I enjoy it. So
awesome. And so you work for Life is Chill, but could you explain a little bit about what you do before we get into the kind of personal journey?
Absolutely. I'm the president of Life is Chill. I've been in the cannabis industry since 2013. I originally made all the edibles and did the formulations for Uncle Herb's and
nice.
Desert AZ, CBD, Naked Vape, a couple different brands. Then we started the Chill Pills. I left the company about 2 years ago, and when I came back, when I found the Chill Pills were for sale, I brought it to my bosses, and they decided that they wanted to purchase it. And now we're kind of all partnered into the growing and making more Life is Chill products. And the reason what I do is basically make sure everything's running smoothly, making sure that we have the next 6 months to a year planned out on what direction we want to go on, which is constantly pivoting in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
But basically just an overall guidance to make sure that everything runs smoothly. I wear several different hats. Sometimes I'm fixing equipment and got my arms elbow deep inside the equipment. Sometimes I'm sitting there and just waiting for things to get finalized so that we can double check, triple check before we actually put them out. Putting new policies and procedures in. This is a highly regulated industry. So when we put a batch label on something, it's been checked 3 times by 3 different individuals, and make sure that we don't have any bad customer service when we're doing things. There's a lot of brands out there or dispensaries that have a lot of compliance issues, and we put the compliance forward for them. So it's more of a customer service thing that we do for them. And there's just a lot making sure that all the parts are getting done and the checks and balances are in place.
I like that. And that's crazy how this industry works, where you go somewhere and you're like, and circle right back around.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I haven't left the building. That's the funny thing. I was actually in the same building, and when I left, the people were renting from the people I was working for, and so I started doing the Chill Pills and everything else again. And my first delivery was to Jars in Payson, which they actually operate out of my old kitchen. Where I first made the Chill Pills is where I made the first delivery of the Chill Pills when I came back. So I was just standing there, and the lady's, trying to get my attention. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. I'm like, I'm literally standing in the same spot I started this company.
That's crazy. So, that's funny. Yeah. That's really funny. So I love that. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. And we'll go ahead and jump into our first segment, which is Cannabis Journey. And we're back.
That was quick.
It's a 10-second thing. Excuse me. So with cannabis, I like to, especially with this, I like to tell everybody where I started, and I've said it ad nauseum about the brick weed and the seeds in the tray, lifting it up.
Getting introduced to Kind Bud for the first time. What the hell was that?
Kind Bud, bro. Absolutely.
That was before strain names or anything. Just anything was Kind Bud. You're like, put other stuff away.
I don't want it. I want the Kind Bud. I didn't even know the word strain at the time.
I know,
if you would have said that to me, I would have been like, what is that on Outbreak, the movie?
I don't want a strain. No, what strain?
We're gonna die. But yeah, it's hilarious how it's gone from Kind Bud. I don't know the progression, but I do know it went from like Kind Bud
to names on weed, then to actual is it sativa, indica?
then they're like trying to do, like, I thought about this earlier, it was like before it was people say, I despise saying that.
I know, like just saying kind, but I literally pictured like 6 or 7 people I used to hang out with a lot.
There's the za, and then hydro. Hydro was after kind bud.
Yeah, no one knew what hydro meant. They didn't know it was hydroponic or what it was, or
except for me, because I was always a nerd with weed, and they're like hydro. I'm like, what? That's what? How do you?
And water weed?
Water. They grew it in water, guys. If you probably would have asked me at the time, I probably would have said they growed it. They growed it. Ladies and gentlemen, go buy some high vibrations. This shit's fucking up my vocabulary. But no, it's crazy how it progresses into these different things. Remember, and then like in between was Christmas buds come around. I wonder what that really was about. More of maybe the cooler weather producing more of the darker. Or I don't even know.
It was probably just a really good weed salesman just putting names on stuff to ask more money for them.
But they looked better. You know what I mean?
Like anything sounds better than Mexican dirt weed.
For sure. We took quite a few hours fluffing this back up. Merry Christmas.
3 hours taking the seeds out of it.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I want to grow soon, but awesome. And I'm guessing, okay, so you started with that. Did you, like, I didn't even see concentrates myself until about 2015. Now that was later because it was about
I didn't see concentrates myself until I started making them in 2013. Like,
okay,
my introduction was like, "Hey, watch these videos. I need you to make this."
Holy shit! Don't blow up the building.
Exactly.
Or light your face on fire.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like, man. What is that thing? They're like, that's a hydrocarbon extraction. I'm like, they're like propane and butane. I'm like, I don't think that's any good. And then I did research on it, and I was like, all right, I get it now. It's not. I think the first thing people think of when they hear that stuff is, oh, you got potheads doing this and they don't know what they're doing. But this has all been science. It's most of your medicine you take in any places are always done with some sort of CO2 extraction, hydrocarbon extraction, something along those lines. So we didn't reinvent anything in the cannabis industry. We just reused technology.
Absolutely. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. People are very like worried, like, oh my God, what are they doing? They're cooking weed.
Yeah, they're cooking weed. They're going to blow up. Like,
they're making weed crack.
When I took my first dab, I can honestly say I've taken my fair share of drugs on the planet, and I can say that was the highest. If I took another drug and that was that high, I would have went to the hospital. But knowing it was weed, I was like, I can ride this through. But if it was any other drug and I felt like that, I would have been like, yeah, 911's the number you want to put in my phone right now.
Holy shit. Yeah. I don't know about that.
My first dab was a gram, and I was only taking like 4 hits a day, four hits of regular weed a day. So I had an experience.
You were in the fifth dimension, sir.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you time travel.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna wake up and be like, "What the fuck just happened?" And you're gonna be in the future.
And where am I?
Every time I wake up, I'm in the future of where I was, and
yeah,
that's what we talking. But that's crazy. Because I know especially out here when it switched from live resin and that from BHO to rosin, and I took my first rosin dab. I was stood in the kitchen like I was like back when I was 16 years old and taking it and smoked a bowl, and I was just sitting there like, oh
wait, you smoked 3 joints in one hit, basically.
Oh man, and the dabs I do now sometimes are absolutely insane. But it's a crazy thing, the progression. But
my first experience, I actually got mad at my mom, and so I knew she hated weed. So I went out and found some to smoke with somebody. I think I was just turned 16 years old. It was the last day of my sophomore finals, and the first time I took a hit, I was like, "This is medicine!" Like I knew it instantly. It put my ADHD into focus. Like everything in my life was like, "Okay, this is what I'm going to need to survive for the rest of my life." Like I need this, and it didn't have to be explained that or anything else. It was just school started being easier, being social with people started being easier. I felt like I was in my own shoes. Kind of like when I first came in here today, I said, I took 2 dabs yesterday for the first time in a long time, and I feel great today. I think my THC levels were low.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing when I first started smoking. And then in 2018, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I actually had a 33 millimeter tumor in my throat. I couldn't open my jaw because it went through the muscles and stuff. So I went almost 8 months on a liquid diet. But I was taking 2.5 grams of oil a day, rubbing it into my gums, swallowing anything I could. And the doctors said that I recuperated faster. The cancer was killed faster, everything. And because I knew the medicine and the amounts I was taking, they actually took the notes and put it and submitted it to the Cancer Society for notes and stuff like that too, because I could tell them the milligrams. I could tell them this, not just I was getting high or this or that. I could actually tell them everything I was doing. And my doctor was very pro getting all that information out there. I wasn't supposed to grow my goatee back because I got radiation burns on both sides of my necks and stuff like that. I had 35 radiation treatments for a total of 17 and a half hours.
Holy shit.
I went through some shit.
Absolutely.
But the recuperation, I remember I was able to eat a cheeseburger for the first time in almost 9 months. My wife took pictures of me like opening my mouth and eating it. And my doctor, he was like, that should have been another month or so. Like, you really, really healed very, very fast. And my hair on my face doesn't grow down here from the radiation burns, but I wasn't supposed to grow my goatee back. And I lathered it with cannabis oil every day just to make sure. It was like, this was like me. Like, for some reason, having a goatee was part of my personality and part of who I was. So I was like, no, that's got to come back. And I grew it back with cannabis. And the doctor was like, you really shouldn't have that much hair on your face anymore. Like, so I believe cannabis is
fucking A, bro. Tell me what I won't do.
Exactly.
Tell me what I won't do.
Yeah.
I love that shit. That's very inspiring. I'm sorry that you had to go through all that shit.
I wasn't listening to God. He was telling me to slow down, and I didn't slow down enough. And he taught me that I needed to, or life was going to get hard. So
yeah, I got that about a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
People like I talk about it because I'm an open book.
Me too.
I was very, very depressed, and I started hanging out with someone who slowly convinced me to try fentanyl. I tried it one day, and at one point in time, I guess I was in a bathroom. I slumped out, and they couldn't open the door for like a minute, but I popped back up, thank God. But technically, I died right there. And after that, the next day, they even offered me more. I was so
Those
stunned.
are the friends you don't need, man.
I was so stunned. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I died yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm sorry that to myself, that it took that long to figure that out. But that's the moment I was like, I got to get the fuck away from these people. Yeah. I'm going to die.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be the end of me. So,
but you're smart enough to realize that. That's the thing, that you have the awareness and survivalness to do that. I did something similar with the meth. I was on meth for a while, and when you said you tried it one day, that's what happened to me. I tried it one day, and 9 months of my life went by. And all of a sudden I was 105 pounds and didn't recognize myself in the mirror. And I was smart enough I was actually living in Phoenix at the time, and I'm from Massachusetts. So I literally went to the airport, got a plane, and flew back home. And I was like, if I'm 3,000 miles away from it, there's no way to get it.
Yeah, for sure. I myself was just fed up. I was just like, no, like something came to me. The universe came to me like, no, we're done.
Yep.
And like I went right to the VA, checked myself in. And from there, I turned that shit around. But then after that, which we'll go into this next segment, and shout out to you, man. I'm really, really proud of you. It's fucking rough.
Yep.
And I'm happy you're here.
Well, if you don't get knocked down, you don't know how to get back up.
Fucking right. That just reminds me of Batman. Why do we fall down, Bruce? All right. Script Tales is all about psychedelic experiences, information, news, ideas, and whatnot. I myself turned my life around with ketamine. After I got my life settled, I still needed to do a bunch of therapy and stuff like that. And I was still a very reactive person. And I'm like, I need to try something else. So what I did was I went and I checked out a ketamine therapy, dosed, watched, setting, all that kind of stuff.
Medical, basically.
And let me remove myself from myself and be objective to what things were going on, and instead of being subjective, we don't understand how much of our own bullshit we put into things, that if we just take it out, our perspective would change. And the biggest thing is we're always stressing on Monday for shit that gets fixed on Friday. And in the in between, you waste so much time worrying about the shit that is going to be fixed anyway.
Yep. Or stuff that will never happen.
Or yeah.
Or people are always worried about what everybody else is thinking. I'm like, somebody else's thought is worth less than a penny to you. So why do you worry about it less than a penny? Like it means nothing. You'll never know what they were thinking. You'll never see what they're thinking. They'll never be brave enough to tell you. So stop worrying about what other people are thinking, because they're thinking the same thing you are. What are other people thinking?
That's hilarious. I love this shit. Yeah, absolutely. And just if you want to know what I'm thinking about, is here's some of the things that I think about. This is a moment like I got from KRS-One, and this maybe be able to help people change their perspective. When you're an older person, as I'm getting to be, I'm 39,
48. So
and we're until we can figure out immortality. But if you listen, if older people listen to younger people, we move faster within a circle of older people. And if younger people listen to older people, then they move quicker in the circle of younger people, because from the older person is getting the new tools from the child, like the younger person. Not saying subject right there, but when you're talking to the younger generation and whatnot, listen to them. Don't just like everyone wants to be like, well, you're not doing it right. Well, maybe the both of you can figure it the fuck out, but listen. Like if the younger people listen, then they have those things, that the lessons that we've learned, and they can into their lives. Each way is like, it just help one another. Fuck. Yep. Shit.
Yep. I actually learned that at a real early age. I was 17, 18 years old working in a kitchen, and I had this huge ego, but I was making 5 gallons of salad dressing, and this dishwasher who just started that day goes, hey, when my mom makes that, she wraps it in saran wrap and then pokes 2 holes so she can pour it real easy. I listened to the kid. Since then, I've always listened to people. Even if I think that what they're saying is stupid, I'll still listen to it to see if there's a grain of something I can get to better my life or to make something a little bit easier.
And that's a big part of what I feel like psychedelics has done for me in my life, is like, hey, just fucking wait a minute. Yeah. Check the shit out.
You're not number one. You're one of a number.
We are all just I believe the universe experiencing consciousness through different avatars.
Absolutely.
We'll go deep into my stuff, but when I'm tripping, even inanimate objects, the universe wants to know what it's like to be a tree. Well, that's not an inanimate object, but you know what I mean? Like this microphone. I don't know. It's weird.
No. I mean, I'm just past 18 years married to my wife, and I love her dearly, but I don't feel this is our first time around the planet together. You know what I mean? I feel like we've been on the planet numerous times, and we always try to find one another when we're here again.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Like when I knew her subconsciously, primal, before I really knew her. Like just looking at her the first time, I was like, I know that person.
That makes sense, because even like the dating that I've done and stuff, like the universe tells me, like, no.
But you have to listen to it.
But I'll be like, no, but check it out, dude. Check it out. Hear me out.
just for a week. Come on.
Hear me out. But this. And it's like, that doesn't fucking matter. Fuck.
You have to listen. Think about where we would be if we didn't listen to the universe. If we listened to other people giving us that next hit of meth or fentanyl or whatever it is. We have to listen to what's going on
nowadays. It's attention, social media, whatever that dopamine hit. Yeah. Whatever you can get. There's so many different things.
I heard of No Screen Fridays or No Screen Sundays or something like that, and I think that is a great idea, because
this past week, that's a good thing to do on a week. I may start. I'm Ryan talking take 2. I may start that, but recently in the past week, not this last week, but the week before, I turned off my phone. I checked in once a day with people to make sure that, I wasn't unalive, but I checked in with people once a day, but I turned my phone off. I turned my Wi-Fi off, and I just like, I played like regular video games, played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and
I break out the Wii. Me and my wife play the Wii every single day. We play a game of bowling or two just to feel like we're doing something physical and enjoying life a little bit more versus blocking ourselves off.
Hell yeah. And I was going out and like walking around places doing stuff and everything and being active. I've been working out and all sorts of stuff, but
I actually heard that in the other interview that when you said that you've been working out now that you're in a good place mentally and stuff like that. And I think that's what people have to take a step back. And if you are in a good place mentally, you're doing stuff to improve your life and you're doing stuff to improve the people that are around you's life and everything else. And when you take a step back and don't realize you're doing that, then you have to reset yourself. Whether that's taking Sunday off and taking a small bag of mushrooms, whether that's just getting off the grid for a full day and going for a hike and eating out in the woods and just completely going off grid, whatever it is that puts you back on track. As humans, we have to find out what that is so we can reset ourselves regularly. For me, it's the first one, taking some mushrooms on a Sunday.
Hell yeah. I enjoy that. I prefer Lucy to shrooms. The shrooms just do a little bit more on my stomach. I do make a couple different.
I take small amounts because I'm highly susceptible to it, and if I pass a certain level, I don't enjoy it as much.
That's my problem because what
I'm saying is, don't hand me the bag. Give me what I'm asking for, but don't set it in front of me because I'm gonna act like it's a bag of potato chips. And it's
my problem. Like, chocolate, piece of chocolate, piece of chocolate.
I went camping with my friends and my wife, and I did that. I just get one of those little caps, and they put the bag in front of me, and like 20 minutes later, they looked over, and I'm doing this. They're like,
"No,
Francis." I'm like, "I told you to give me one cap. Like that's. I know I have an issue. I was trying to help you help me out."
Yeah. Don't give me the bag of drugs.
Yes.
I'm gonna do them.
I grew up with Cheech and Chong, man. I know.
I don't know when I'm gonna get this again.
But we grew up in an era where you'd walk into a party and someone would hand you stuff and you would take it without asking what it was.
For sure.
I mean, nowadays
we had Marinol back in the day.
I remember taking pills and not even knowing, going, man, that really messed me up. But I had no clue what it was because I never asked.
I was taking pills by the fistful.
Or someone walks up to me and goes, "Hey, those 2 pills I gave you, I just take one," and I'm like, things I should have known like a half hour ago.
That's my problem with shrooms and stuff. I don't know a dose that I'm going to get to there. I end up, and then I talk to somebody. I'm like, how much did you eat? And they're like, oh, I only ate 3 pieces. I'm like, well, I ate 6. Fuck. Yeah, I should have told you.
well, also when we grew up, we would buy about an eighth, and it's not like you could store it in the refrigerators. You had to eat the whole thing. It was a one-stop shop.
Hurry up, everybody!
Let's get rid of these. Come on. No.
Here's a what do we call them nowadays? Hacks, a life hack.
Yep.
A shroom hack.
Shroom hack.
So when I went to Amsterdam years ago, I spent a whole day just buying shrooms and eating shrooms. It was crazy. They had one of the best, and what for me is shrooms that were in a jar of honey. The honey helps you eat that shit, but also it's a natural sugar, so it doesn't adversely affect the trip.
Makes sense.
I had a lady scream at me when I walked into a energy shop when they were still legal. I was holding a Coca-Cola bottle, and she's like, "No!" I'm like, I was already tripping balls. I'm like, I dropped the soda bottle. It's like one of the European liter bottle. Yeah. I'm like, it didn't break or nothing because it's plastic, but I was just like, no, what?
No, what? I need better directions than just no.
I just stood there with my hands up. No, what? Yeah. And she's like, no artificial sugars. I'm like, I just took a drink. She's like, your trip's gonna be bad. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, don't say that. Yeah, tell me that when I'm sober. That's the worst thing to say to somebody when
she's like, you're okay if you switch now. I'm like, oh, okay.
And in your head, you're taking like honey. You're going, I'm all better now.
I'm all good. I'm good. And then we walked out, and then by the Ferris wheel, you guys can look it up or something. I put a bunch of pigeons, and my buddy's like, run through there. I'm like, the fuck? Kind of tripping. And then he did it, and they all just go, and I'm already seeing triplets of everything and tracers.
So it was only 6 birds, but you saw 47.
Oh my god! Dude. Have you seen Solitaire? Yeah. It was just like, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta sit down. But yeah, shrooms. Be careful with the dosage.
Yes.
Maybe don't listen to me. Don't micro.
Yes. Well, you can always add more. You can't take something away from what you digested.
I've had shrooms where I've tried to take more and you can't get any higher.
Right.
you kind of cap yourself at a certain point.
No pun intended.
But absolutely, it happens. But it's just take it easy. And you're like, okay, well, it's just like, you know, anything else. You're like, all right, I got to that level. Maybe next time I'll go up. But
the first time I actually ever took a psychedelic was acid, and I took it because my buddy goes, man, I already took one, I can't take a second one, it'll kill me, so you have to take this one. And I'm like, oh, okay, I want to save your life, bro.
I got you.
Of course,
that's kind of my logic.
Yeah, of course I woke up the next day and was like, thinking I got lied to about that one.
Pretty sure he wasn't gonna die.
Yeah,
I
saw him take 2 more by the end of the night.
Son of a bitch. That's hilarious. Yep. Now I've never tried to re-up on Lucy. I love Lucy, but I've never tried to like up my dosage afterwards, because once I'm peaked, it's about ain't going too much further.
You don't need to.
No, I've had the highest I've been is 5 tabs of acid and an eighth of shrooms.
I've been close there, but I haven't taken any. Even when I was sick, when I had cancer, they gave me Percocets, and I basically threw them all away because I took them for 2 days. I started getting mad at things and everything else. I was like, this isn't for me. Weird. So I haven't taken like acid pills or anything in about 10 or 15 years. It's if it's not naturally grown, or I can't grow it myself, then I don't want to really.
Oh yeah, that's good. All right, we'll go ahead and jump into this little break, and then we'll come back.
Life is good, you know. You plant your seed and watch them grow, yeah.
1 seed, 2 seed, 3, 4, and 5. How many of these seeds gonna keep alive? And so I'm singing.
All right. Mental health is wealth. It's all about how cannabis, all this stuff relates to psychedelics, relates to the mental health and stuff that we got going on. We deal on a daily basis. The world is going crazy. We don't have to talk about it. Election. Everyone's frustrated, up in arms about that. We're going to go ahead and skip that. But
not a good subject. I think the only thing we can say on that subject is I wish there was respect out there.
I wish everybody, like, we could actually disagree with each other and not want to fight and draw blood.
I was walking my dog this morning, and I ran into somebody in the woods, and we were talking the same thing. And I said, but now because of the way society is, when we both leave each other, I have to complain about what dog you had.
This motherfucker had
it was a
that's
husky.
Not even a real dog.
And a husky with 2 different colored eyes. Who does that?
That's not American. So they have us more divided than ever. That's why I don't want to talk about any of that shit.
It's programmed to do that. It's programmed so we can't get along, and that's why they didn't want to legalize weed, because now we all like something that together.
And the stupid ass race thing. We're all different shades of wheat. Look it up. We're all different shades of wheat. This is white. I don't know anybody other than Elon Musk that looks like this.
Maybe an albino or two, but
you know what I mean? Like, we're all shades of wheat. So the race thing, I fucking hate that. Like, it's just like the separation in this world is ridiculous. So let's skip that. But
I'm just gonna dislike you for you, and that's it.
Hey, it's okay. We don't all have to agree. At all.
But we all do have to live in the same planet.
Yeah, we all have lived different lives and stuff. If you lived my life, you would be me. If I lived my life or your life, I'd be you.
Yeah, you don't want to be that. I'm short
but you know what I mean? Like, it's all, even our names are a set of circumstance.
Yes.
I am not Ryan. Like, that's a name that was given to me. You know what I mean?
But you are a chef, and that was the name you gave yourself.
No, that's our word.
Yeah.
That we can. Only chefs can call each other chefs.
Yeah. Someone's like, when did you become a chef? I'm like, the day I felt I could do food costs and manage people at the same time.
Yeah.
The day I felt confident in my numbers.
that's also, that's when I believe, when I can handle everything. Because I hear a lot of people call themselves chefs, but they're cooks.
Yep.
You have to be able to run the entire business from personnel, all from.
If you haven't created at least 6 menus and thrown them out, then you haven't done it.
No.
So it's a self-promoted title, but it has to come with some sort of self-awareness.
Yes, and you like. There's also you can be garde-manger. You can be garde-manger all day.
Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite jobs because you don't do much and you get paid the same as everybody else.
It's the easiest job.
Yeah.
I know.
I worked at Canyon Ranch before. I don't know if you know. It's a health place, but it's like $1,400 a night with a 3-night minimum. And I served a lot of rich people, Uma Thurma, all these people and stuff like that. But I love just doing the desserts, man. I'm like, oh, it's a health place. Only 1 out of every 8 people get a dessert, so I ain't got much to do tonight.
Oh damn, that would be it right there.
And then at the end of the night, you put your knives down, and a whole cleaning crew came in. I didn't have to clean stuff. I didn't have to sweep floors. I didn't have to one of the best jobs I ever had.
Speaking of mental health,
yes,
just put your knife down and walk away.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Turn the grills off. Somebody else comes and scrubs them.
Bro.
I mean, I was like, I can't even say I had a bad night at work because I didn't get to the bad part.
Yeah, that's how you get me back in the kitchen.
So I come in, everything's prepped. I cook it, I plate it, I go home. Yes, I'll take 2 jobs of that.
Yes, hell, I can do that with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
I've been banging out a place since forever. Even in culinary school, we helped open a Drexel.
Yeah.
It's now since closed, but yeah, we were running stuff off of the menu and stuff, and they're like, "You want to do this?" And I'm on garde-manger with the seared ahi tacos and stuff. Like, nah, we're good. I'm teaching them.
Yeah. Well, when I was actually moving up in that business, there was a guy in front of me that wasn't a very good cook, so I got stuck on salads for like 2.5 months, and the chef kept going, "We'll move you up." I'm like, "You really don't have to. I'm getting paid what I want to get paid, and I'm cutting up lettuce and tomatoes." So
yeah, I watched the apps in front of me with the arancini and everything getting destroyed, and I'm like, "Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I got the tacos."
Yeah, I got the tacos.
Yeah. So mental health is it's finding a place that you can work at and you're not losing your fucking mind is big nowadays.
Finding a place that you feel you're participating in society
and valued.
You valued, yes.
Value number 1.
Yes. And with a lot of people out there, the goal of managers is to devalue their employees so they can pay them less. And I think that people have to recognize that there's always a better place to work. There's always a better place to go to. For example, where I'm at right now, I was getting out of the industry. I was like, I can medicate anything. And the team that I'm working with now, their parent company, LA Biotech, they're like, well, we can teach you how to medicate water. I'm like, okay. That's something I can't medicate right now, so I guess I'm back on the learning train, and
boom,
but I love it. I mean, I love working. I love building a place for my team to grow. I only have like 6 employees that work underneath me, and building that team, watching them be successful, watching them grow, watching them be happy. I think if you're a manager, that should be 60% of what you're looking to do in life, is to build a life for these people, because you're building the company, but you need these people to be successful. And I have one of the most incredible teams that you could ever work with out there. So
absolutely, and we'll go ahead and shout out them because
there was a lot of people that didn't make the cut.
Hey, I'm no ill will to anybody, but there's people that have been a part of this podcast that aren't anymore.
Yep.
I wish them all the best, but just sometimes things just don't work out. They are great people. There's nothing wrong with them. It just wasn't making sense, and eventually we'll find our people. But
you have to see people that have potential. You have to see potential in people.
Well, also the potential has to relate to what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because all the people that I've had a part have great potential. It just we were going different ways,
and maybe now's not the time for their potential too.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, there's always a way back.
Yep.
I never hold grudges. I may be pissed for like a little bit, but I let it go.
I've let quite a few people back into my life that I didn't think I would for various reasons. But I'm big on second chances. I've gotten them. God gave me one. World,
I mean, look at
the universe, whatever you want to call it. It gave me a second chance.
I've gotten 1,000 second chances. So for me to not let someone else back in is absolutely ridiculous to me.
It's like, I don't want a door closed on me, so I'm not going to close it on anybody else.
Yeah.
So.
You never know who you're gonna need help from. All right,
I mean, there's definitely people that have to fill out an application before they come through the door again, but they're not.
yeah, I'm gonna need to see some references.
Yeah, I got to see, like, what have you been up to since the last
best
time we spoke?
apology is not words, is change behavior.
Yep. And I've seen that happen, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons to give a second chance is when you see somebody mimicking you to do better because they saw greatness in you and they chose to follow that path. You know?
Oh yeah, and you guys can do it too.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, everybody can. I mean, I think if you hit bottom like me and you both have, like literally hit bottom and bounced up and decided that wasn't a hard enough hit, I'm going to try it one more time.
Yeah.
I think anybody can bounce back. You just have to have the want to do it.
Yeah. Fine. Like, and that's a big thing that happened with 2020. We all kind of like woke the fuck up.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. I think people realize I don't need to do a lot of the stuff I was doing to be happy. What really makes me happy is being around people that make me happy.
No.
Or or not being around people.
Or not, yeah, being a people pleaser. So awesome. Lessons all around, man.
Yes.
Thank you for that. We'll go ahead and jump into our last segment, which is Plug Talk, which is promo, and we'll go
This
all
is
over.
where I shine. The sound I heard in my head right before I took the dabs yesterday, I knew there was something short circuiting.
Oh, that's my little Plug Talk, Rick and Morty looking thing. Yeah,
like it.
Dope. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing all of your stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into Life is Chill. We have chill pills, the chill drops. I want to make sure. And I just tried some, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and take over real quick.
Sure. We started off with the chill pills, which is basically a capsule that's less than a half a gram. So anytime that you take an edible, if you look at taking a gummy is about 5 grams, and there's only 0.01 of that is medicine. So your body has to attack it and break it down. So it's only pulling small pieces of THC at a time. So it takes a long time to get it. And you're only absorbing about 1 milligram, 10% of a 10 milligram edible, because your body actually doesn't process it. Similar like vitamin C, vitamin D, you have to take large amounts of those to get into your system. But when they're already in liquid form, like our chill pills, your body can absorb them a lot faster because they don't have to go through the digestion process. We have 5 milligram, 10 milligram, 25 milligram, and the ones that I had brought you, which were 100 milligrams per capsule. So if you think about eating a brownie that's 100 milligrams, that's going to take forever for your body to completely digest or whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna wake up high.
But if you try a drink, if you try a liquid drink or whatever, your body, it takes it a lot faster. If you drink a beer, it comes through your body a lot faster than a brownie does. So drinks in general and liquid products have better absorption rates, so you get a bigger bang for your buck. Anytime that you're taking medicine, the faster you can get it into your system and the more liquid it is before you take it, the better you're going to have for bioavailability. That brings us to the chill drops. Well, a couple more things on the chill pills. We have the 5, 10s, 25s, 100s. We have nighttime, daytime, and anytime. The nighttime are enhanced with CBN. The daytimes are enhanced with CBG. The anytimes are not enhanced with anything, but we use full spectrum oil. So when we buy oil from somebody, it cannot be listed as distillate or anything else. It has to be listed as a hybrid, sativa, or indica, or a blend of one of those. And we take a look at the test results. It has to have at least 3 other cannabinoids in there that equal close to 5 to 6%. We have to make sure that this is full spectrum. We've been making these capsules since 2018. We want to make sure that the consistency is there for every patient that takes them, because that's the big thing with medicine is people need that consistency. The newest member to our team is a 10 milligram live resin capsule. It's made with live resin. It's also tapioca, so it's vegan. In Arizona, you have to watch your edibles because they will melt. The vegan tapioca is not thermal reversible, so it cannot actually melt. Those are the best capsules to have in Arizona if you forget to leave them in your car. Most people don't forget their medicine that's expensive or whatever, but that goes for your vegans and your live resin connoisseurs. Most edibles made with live resin don't have the same benefits that live resin does because the terpenes get destroyed in the process because of high temperatures. We don't go above 120 degrees in our mixing process, so the terpenes are not volatile. They do not evaporate off. We actually have and tested 0.125% in these capsules. So there's
Wow.
actually a measurable amount of terpenes in the edible.
Nice.
That brings us to our chill drops. So our chill drops are scientific based. Basically, we took a lipid called phosphatidylcholine. Phosphatidylcholine is naturally found in sunflower, it's naturally found in eggs, and it's naturally found in all the cells in your body. So when THC shows up in a sugar product like a gummy, your body fights it. Doesn't allow it to get right through the system. But with the chill drops, it's recognized as a cell that's supposed to be there, and your body doesn't fight it. So it doesn't get degraded, it doesn't get eaten up, and it doesn't get processed till it gets further into the body. So your absorption rates skyrocket. We're actually looking to do absorption tests. It's in shelf life study right now, but I can tell you that I can take 50 milligrams of almost any edible out there, and I feel it a little bit, but I'm not necessarily high. It's more taking the pain away. I've several car accidents, things like that. But when I take the chill drops, I'm about 6 to 10 milligram doser, and I can seriously feel it within 5 to 10 minutes. And it's very mellow. It's very therapeutical, and it's a different high. It's the only, when you smoke and your shoulders slump and everything kind of rolls off your back, but you don't get that with edibles. This is the first edible I've ever taken that literally relaxes me like smoking does. So I can actually think that in the future we'll be able to convert smokers into taking an edible because of the way that this affects them.
I absolutely agree because I'm high right now.
I actually saw you. I actually watched you. You've been stiff like this, and about 5 minutes ago, right before we went into this, your shoulders just kind of sloped forward a little bit.
Yeah. I dropped my shoulders. The high is a little bit behind the nose a little bit. So for me, what that means is I'm still alert.
Yep.
It doesn't mean usually when I get like an edible or anything like that, the high is kind of higher in my brain and I'm just kind of like sleepy.
Yep.
This just relaxed my body because I've been kind of working out, so I've been kind of tense. But this dropped my shoulders. I feel chill as fuck. Makes
Chill
sense.
drops.
Makes sense.
And you didn't taste it, I put 10 milligrams. You had what? You wanted to put more water in there when I first did it because you were like, I could tell, but there was no taste to it. So
yeah, that's the first thing that I've ever had that like I would for sure felt like because I had this much water in there and you put 4 drops.
I put 5 drops, so it was a total of 10 milligrams.
And I didn't taste anything. I didn't feel anything. When I drank it wasn't filmy.
So that's the other thing. There's a lot of mouthfeel with some of these drinks. There's nothing with that.
No, there's no film left. I didn't feel like I had weed in my mouth afterwards. There's plenty of drinks, and I've even made drinks before where I'm like, oh, this shit sucks because you taste nothing but weed. But no, this is better. And I've seen that other brand where they put the powder and stuff, but like this shit right here mixes immediately. There was no stirring. You can literally just drop it in there, and I did this, but I didn't even need to do that.
Yeah. We actually, on our Instagram, I actually made Carolina barbecue sauce from scratch. I made the mustard from scratch. I took powdered mustard, added some vinegar, added some water to it, and then made the actual. And at the end, I dosed it with 10 milligrams. It was the third cut because the second and first cut I forgot to push record on my phone. I just took a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time me and my wife actually had the barbecue sauce, we were very relaxed and loving the afternoon because it was like a triple dosed barbecue sauce.
Oh,
so, yeah. But one of the things I did forget about the chill drops that I want to mention is we make a capsule called Flex Time. It's THCA. We call it Flex Time because people that work out, it's the red one on there.
Yeah.
So when people work out, they take this capsule before and after, and they feel their body recuperates and focuses more when they're doing it. We've had people that smoke cigarettes that take it, and they say that they're actually decreased their craving to have cigarettes. We've also had a runner that wanted to have us sponsor them because it helped them out. But mainly women with cramps and inflammation,
yeah.
It works out real well with. So my wife, when she takes it for her monthly, she says that the cramps can be reduced to up to 50% of what she normally has, and there's no psychoactive because it's all THCA, and she says I'm about 50% less annoying than I normally am. So it works really well.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna probably go find those and grab those because when I go lift and work out and everything. I like to smoke before I smoke or dab before, but if I also take that, I won't have to like try to smoke while I'm in the gym, and that's a pain in the ass.
Yes, so that's one of the things I want to do with the chill drops. One of the next things I want to do
is put it in my water.
THCA, yeah. Absolutely, and that one's yours to bring with you to have. So
Hell yeah.
there's only 10 milligrams out of it, so you have 90 left.
Okay.
That was the first big batch we made. They came out at 94.5 milligrams.
That's actually
so.
that. I mean, both. I'm gonna try both, but like that probably works perfect for exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, you can put it in your water, so while you're working out, you can keep adding
my pre-workout that I'm sipping on.
So we did an event on 420, and I put 10 drops in my water bottle, thinking this is going to last me most of the morning, so I'll just get a little dose throughout the day. I forgot it's Phoenix. An hour into the event, my water's gone. My boss comes up to me. She goes, "Why are you so fun today?" I said, "Hi."
I'm fucking gone right now.
Yeah, I'm like, I am relaxed right now. She goes, "You may need to do this more often. You're a little bit uptight."
Save me.
Exactly.
Jelly roll.
Exactly.
Help
Actually,
me.
That was the day I met Tommy Chong.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I spent almost 20 minutes with Tommy Chong. So
Nice.
that was a goal in my life, not necessarily because of the cannabis, but my mom was anti-cannabis, but she was pro-laughter. So I watched a lot of Cheech and Chong when I was a kid. So
hell yeah, man. Full circle. Awesome. Well, did you have anything else about the...
Well, we just launched the Chill Drops. They're available in 5 or 6 locations right now. All Greens, Noble in Flagstaff, the Good Dispensary, the Superior Dispensary, Sticky Saguaro. So they all have them on their shelves right now. You can go purchase them. And, some people are trying them sublingually. I don't recommend that. It is a small dose. In your water, you won't taste it. Underneath your tongue and on your tongue, it will have a weedy flavor to it. But most people that are going for the extreme, they're okay with that weedy flavor. But I recommend even like a shot glass of just water or juice, a couple squirts, and down the hatch. So
it was a very little amount of water, and I didn't taste anything.
Yeah, and that's actually, I was happy when I went over there and saw you had a little bit of water. I was like, because this will be the test of time. This will be something he'll either be like, oh, or not. And I've taken enough of them to know you weren't going to taste anything. So.
And I can't hide it. My face tells all.
Yes.
Because I was a couple months ago, I was at a place where they had, let's say, a clandestine area.
Yep.
With tables. And I was like, I better buy something from somebody. And I got a medicated drink, and immediately first drink, I'm like, weed. And I was just like,
well, it's either you taste weed with those, or after you're done drinking it, you
get in the mouth.
You're drinking other stuff to get that taste out of your mouth.
Distillate film. Yeah.
Distillate foam. That's probably exactly what it is. But because ours is encapsulated, because we actually wrap the molecule. So most nano products are super nano. They're below 30 or 40 nanometers or whatever. Ours is actually above 250 nanometers. So as far as nano, it's very semi-large, but that's to keep the form of the liposomal around our molecules.
Crazy. Love it. And it works.
Yep, I can tell. And you're going to be a very big promoter of those, I can tell.
So. Absolutely, I am. I love that shit. Any easy way to get cannabis into me, because even
super discreet.
Like,
I mean, think about going out to the bar with your friends, but you don't want to have a cocktail, so you get a mock martini or something like that, and now you dose it. Now you're just as loose as everybody else because you're actually getting something out of it.
Hell yeah. Get loose with your friends.
Get loose. Get chill with your buds.
Chill with your buds. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Life is chill.
Well,
all right.
Thank you for having me. I had a blast today. So
absolutely, I appreciate you. Yeah, we talked about some great stuff, and
maybe the two chefs need to get together and cook something sometime.
Hey,
too, so
you putting me in the kitchen? All right.
I have a Louisiana Champion Smoker grill. It has almost 14 racks on it, so we can do a couple briskets or whatever you want.
Oh, brisket! I love briskets, burnt ends and shit. Yep, and we could talk.
When people have a party, they like we just had a gender reveal party for one of my employees' daughters, and I was like, "Well, what do you want?" They go like, "Well, they want you to cook brisket. That's what they want." And I'm like, "Oh," they're like, "When we have the baby shower," I'm like, "And what can I get for that?" They're like, "Brisket. That's what we want you to cook for that too. Is brisket."
Everybody loves brisket, man.
Yeah,
shit's fire.
Yep.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Life is chill. Thank you, Chef Francis. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Habari Entertainment. Check them out, habarientertainment.com. Shout out Old Pal. Shout out Ken Dog Smoke Seeds. Go check him out. I'm sure he's got a bunch of different strains that he's even created. And I'm sure he'll give you a discount. Check out Hades Cannabis Apothecary, Chill Pills, Chill Drops. Life is chill as fuck. If it's not, fix that shit. Fix that shit. Shout out High Vibrations. They were just on. And shout out you guys. And we're going to be coming back with more clips and stuff. we'll be live sometime this week with Chef Francis, I believe on next Sunday.
Excellent. I'll
Awesome.
make sure I'm available to check that out. So
Yeah. We'll be in the chat, chatting it up, smoking along, doing whatever. All right. Thank you very much again. Thank you, everybody. Tap in, smoke up, trip out. Love y'all. Deuces.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?